So here we are, the day that I thought would never come. England in a major tournament final. I don't know about anyone else, but I woke up this morning. It was the first thing I thought about. And what I realised was that I really don't know how to feel about it, other than it's something pretty big. And as the day goes on today, I'm going to be trying to keep myself busy and not think about it too much until we get pretty close to the game. I want to say a couple of things about what this means and the significance of this to me. Whenever big things happen in life, and I've linked it to big days in football for me over the years, I always think about family. I always think about my family and what it means to them. And so today I think about the players and their families and all the people who've contributed to their journey over the years. I saw a great infographic on where all the players started their careers, the grassroots clubs that they played for, and those clubs must be so proud today. But the parents of the family, whether it's mums, dads, uncles, granddads, brothers, sisters, nanas, whatever it is, who've sacrificed for those boys who are in that dressing room today, who've supported them, who've lived through highs and lows, supported them when they've had difficult times, been ecstatic when they've seen them be successful. How must they be feeling today? We're fans and we're not connected in any way to these players, or most of us, and yet we're sat there willing them on, kind of hero worshipping them, and rightly so, because they've been outstanding ambassadors for the country, for the game, for themselves, for their families. And I just think, like I say, I think about all the people who've been affected by their journey, and wonder how they must be feeling today. Because if how I'm feeling is anything to go by, they must be feeling all of the emotions that I've got, but accentuated and put under the microscope to a ridiculous level. The other thing I want to say is that I think this team won't use this as motivation. Gareth Southgate and Steve Holland won't use it as motivation, but it's becoming clear to me that the rest of Europe doesn't want England to win today. I'd rather take my lead from Gareth Southgate and not focus on that. Take my lead from a guy who looks at the positives and doesn't speak about the negatives or the things that he can't affect. So I won't be slagging off any other countries for not supporting us. I won't be focusing on that. I'll be focusing on how proud I am to be an England fan today. In terms of the game, I've thought about it a lot, like most people probably have, and I don't see a way that Italy can blow England away. So I can see three potential scenarios where Italy nick it tight, either a close 1-0 over 90 minutes, or extra time, or even penalties. I can see England doing the same to Italy, and I can see England blowing away Italy. And that's that last option. When I look player for player, when I look at what they've dealt with so far, when I look at the journey that they're on in terms of their trajectory and how they've got better and better, more confidence, I think there's half a chance that England could go win 2 or 3-0 today. I think Italy are a superb team. They've still been the team of the tournament for me. I think this is the only day when that might change. Their players are not as experienced, in my opinion, as England. Their group is not as experienced as England, albeit they've got grandfather Chiellini and Bonucci at the back, who are obviously a focal point in their team, and a lot of people refer to those two as the player, the key players for them. I actually think their key players could be their biggest weakness today. I know a lot of people have said the same, and I think there's logic behind that argument that pace can kill them, but that has to be that they're so experienced that they will not kind of wilt at the first sign of someone running at them or someone taking them into places they don't want to go. What has to happen is that we have to be really disciplined in the way we set up our attacks, that we have to draw them into areas of the pitch that they don't want to go, and gradually draw them as the game stretches. And that's what this England team have done so well throughout this tournament. As other teams have weakened over the course of a game, England have basically stepped on their throat and been ruthless in closing games out, in opening up teams when they're starting to get fatigued, and I can see that happening today. My hope is that England get a goal to settle them. Not that we can't cope with going a goal down, as we proved in the semi-final, but my hope is that we get a goal to settle our team, and that as Italy push on, then we go and we hit them on the counter with that pace, against a team who, you know, without Spinazzola at left back, they've got some weakness, I think, in that area of the pitch, and I think if Saka plays, I think he can expose that. I think Sterling can expose that. I think Mason Mount can expose that if he plays. And I think Harry Kane can expose that, because he's getting better and better, and I still think for 70 or 80 minutes of the game I'm going to be frustrated with some of the things Harry Kane does, but I'm also going to be very much aware that he could be the difference, and he could be closing the game out and be the difference between us winning and losing the game. So I'm going a little bit bold, and I think there's a chance that we could get this job done, with a little bit in hand. But whatever happens, it's a day to be very proud, the day to enjoy it. I hope families and communities and groups and friends come together and have just an amazing day, because this does not come along very often. I'm going to make the most of it with my family, and I hope you all do the same. So come on, England, and let's hope that come 11 o'clock my time tonight, we're European champions. Gareth Southgate has got the plaudits quite rightly for the way he's managed the tournament, and the players are celebrating in front of our fans in a packed Wembley Stadium.